I opened for BB King back in 2001. I finished my show, and somebody comes knocking on my dressing room door, and he's like, BB King wants to meet you. And he was a gentleman. All of these guys were great. And they welcomed me in. And it was just I happened to turn pro at a time where there was still a lot of live music, and a lot of these legends were still alive.
Hmm.
And it was a great time, for music. The late '90s, probably, actually, I turned pro in '93, so the '90s were probably the last great decade musically, before the whole thing crumbled and Napster took over, and then Spotify took over, and now, it's not really a music industry anymore.
So when you started out on the road, you started to produce your own albums. I mean, you've played what, 200, 2,500 plus gigs over these 28 years that you've been operating as a musician. Was there a frustration in the early years when you're producing what is really great music? And you'll find that that's not only good enough. You need then to be actually finding the audience, selling the product.
Well, at first I did really well. I was like, and my second album got a Juno nomination, which is the Canadian Grammy, and
Yeah, yeah.
I my first album came out in '97, got great reviews, sold really well here. I mean, really, really well. Both albums sold really well, and then for my third album, I changed the company, and I went to a big company here in Quebec, and big management here, but they were big here, but they didn't do anything outside of the province. So,
Right.
and prior to that, I was playing coast to coast in Canada, and I was playing France and Belgium, and then all of a sudden I'm only playing in Quebec and bigger places here, and I'm on TV, and but they just stopped promoting my career outside of the province, so I left that company, and then I found out what it was to get hard times, because after leaving that management company and that record company, nobody wanted to sign me here, and I basically went from playing, thousand seaters to going back to playing bars again in my late 20s, and then. I put out, I'd still put out albums, and sometimes I'd be a sideman for big stars here in Quebec, but it was harder, and I didn't have the when I started, I was like the young prodigy. But when you're 30, you're not the young prodigy anymore,
Well,
So
you
so
are
what?
in blues. You are in the
Yeah,
blues
then I
business.
learned what it was to have the blues. Until
Jeff Healey. I want to
yeah,
touch on Jeff Healey because he was a big influence
yeah,
on you. He was
for
the
sure.
first musician that you ever bought a ticket for, wasn't it, to go to a gig?
Yeah, yeah. First real show that I saw was Jeff Healey, and but even before that, even his before his first album "See the Light" came out, he had a video on Much Music, which was the Canadian MTV, and he had the video for "See the Light" a year before the album came out. And it was a different version than the one on the album. It was basically
Yeah.
the demo that he did to. They recorded that track, did a video, and shopped around and found a record, got a record deal with Arista, Clive Davis. And I saw that video and I recorded it on VHS, and I'd watch it all the time. And then when the album came out, I bought the album.